Welcome to the first Friday Fry-Up. This is your opportunity to ask any questions that you might have about God, Jesus, the Bible, Christianity, and I'll do my best to give you a straight and honest answer. From Sunday, I'll put 2 questions in a poll on Facebook, and you can vote for the one that you'd most like to hear answered, or that you think might give me the most difficulty to answer. Today we're dealing with quite a tricky question, but it's a very relevant one, and it goes like this. How can you still believe in God when all of this is going on? And so when we look at the suffering that's happening in the world, how can you have faith that God is in control or even exists? And that's a fair question, and I imagine it's one that many people will be asking. And I want to take you up 2 steps to get to an answer. So step 1 is this. Brokenness is no evidence for the lack of a creator. I want you to come with me in your imagination, in your mind, to a huge abandoned manor house. And as we go through the big front doors, you notice that this place was once beautiful, but now it's a wreck. There are holes in the roof and big shafts of light coming down and dust motes dancing around in the air. On the far wall there's this huge grandfather clock, and as we make our way over to it, we notice that the glass is broken. There are huge cracks in the wood and holes from where the borer, the woodworm, has made its way inside. On the floor around are little gears and cogs and bits and pieces from the inner workings. The time is wrong. Now when you look at that clock, you don't say, what a mess, this couldn't have been made by anyone. You don't even say, what a mess, the guy who designed this kind of had a clue what he was doing. Instead, what we say is, what a shame that such a beautiful piece of furniture, such a stunning clock, could be so badly broken. And so when we look at the world, which is infinitely more complex than a grandfather clock, it's no evidence that God doesn't exist when we see brokenness in our broken world. It's not even an evidence that God isn't a very good designer. It's only evidence that the world is not working as it should be. And so as we watch coronavirus spread, as we read about locust swarms ravaging crops in Africa or tsunamis threatening Hawaii, there's no evidence that the world has no designer. It's no evidence that the world was even made by a faulty designer. It's evidence that the world is broken. Step number 2 is this. Brokenness is actually evidence for a creator. See, if something is broken, that means it once had a right way of working. If it's broken, it means it's not operating the way that it's designed to do. Now, if you're an atheist, you've got to say that the world is doing exactly what it should be doing, because it doesn't have any other purpose, and so it can't be broken. It doesn't have a right way of working other than the one that it's currently working in, and so we might not like it, but everything is right in the world. But if we're honest with ourselves, that's just not our experience. And the undeniable proof, the smoking gun of that, is death. We hate death. It makes us squirm inside. Sometimes I'll be fishing in the Mataura, and as I walk upstream, I'll get the smell of death in my nostrils. It's an awful smell, but you know what it is straight away. And sure enough, a little bit further upstream, there'll be a ewe or a lamb that's fallen in the river and drowned and died, and it's just washed up into the bank there. Now, whenever that happens, I give it a wide berth. I get out of the river and walk around it, because I don't want to be anywhere near death. It makes me uncomfortable. It's awkward and difficult and unnatural to me. Even when I see a fish floating downstream, belly up, I don't like to see that. And I never look at it and assume, well, maybe that trout has just died of natural causes and died in a perfectly reasonable and normal way. I automatically assume that something's up, that somebody's been up to no good, because death strikes me as wrong. There's just something not right about it. And anybody who's been to the funeral of somebody that they love knows exactly what I'm talking about. See, we can try and brush death under the carpet. We can say it's all part of the circle of life, but that doesn't take away the pain, and it doesn't mitigate the awareness that there's something deeply jarring about death. Now, only the Bible has an answer, a full answer to this problem, one that covers all the bases. The Bible explains why we hate death so much. It's because we were not made to die. When God created man, death was never part of the picture. It was only when Adam and Eve sinned that death came into the world. The Bible also tells us why the world is broken. It says, yes, things aren't working as they should be. Because when Adam and Eve sinned, it wasn't just humans who suffer. It wasn't just humans who were affected, but the whole cosmos is suffering because of their disobedience. See, our world is not working like it's supposed to. But that brokenness doesn't prove that there's no creator. It doesn't shake my belief in God. And so when you ask, how can God exist? How can I believe that there is a God when all of this is going on? Well, actually, these circumstances reinforce my faith. They show me that the Bible's got it right. They show me that God's word is true, that this world is broken. It's not working like it should because sin has ruined it. But that's not all that the Bible says. See, God is a great doctor. And a great doctor will not only diagnose the problem, but he will offer a solution. He brings a cure. And God has a cure for the brokenness that we see in the world and the brokenness that we feel in our hearts. The cure is Jesus Christ, who died on a cross to take away the sins of all who believe in him and redeem this broken world from the curse of sin. On Sunday we thought about the kingdom of God. I shared a verse from Luke's Gospel that said, "Fear not, little flock, for it's your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." So we thought about the kingdom of God a little bit. And one of my favourite hymns starts like this: "The kingdom of God is justice and joy, for Jesus restores what sin would destroy." Now that word restores is a very cheeky word. See, my toothpaste says that it restores surface enamel, but my dentist says that once enamel's been lost, it can't be bought back. And so what my toothpaste means when it uses the word restores, it means it's going to shine it up, it's going to clean it and make it shiny. It's not going to bring any enamel back, that's impossible, but what it's going to do is restore, like you might restore something that you polish, give it a luster, give it a shine that it's lost. That's what it's talking about, restoring. But when God uses the word restore, what God means by the word restore is taking this broken world, or taking your broken heart, cleaning away everything that makes it rotten and replacing it with new, clean, good, eternally undamageable life. Revelation 21 verse 5 says, "Behold, look, I am making all things new." So how can you believe in God when all this is going on? My briefest answer to that is because it's the only reasonable response.